Okay, so let's do an example utilizing the row operations repeatedly on just a matrix. So let's go example. Okay, so I'm going to make one up just off the top of my head. 2, 4, 5. I don't know. 0, 3, 4. Right? Just going to just making it up. So let's go -4. Give it a little twist. Right? So a couple things you can do, okay, is let's say this first one. Let's go and do row 1. So I'm going to utilize row 1, and I'm going to do 1/2 of that. So times 1/2. Okay, so this is my work right here, and I'm putting it on row 1 just to show that it's happened on row 1. So the blue part is my work, and the black part is the answer. So I don't just want to see answers. I want to see work as well, which is just a writing bit. And on a lot of your assignments, I already put down work, so you just have to do the answer. So basically, row 1, I'm gonna go ahead and multiply it by half. So 2 times a half gives you 1, and I'm gonna leave it on row 1. That's why the work is written on row 1 right here. Okay. 4 times a half is going to be 2, and 5 times a half is going to be 5/2, or you can call it 2.5. Okay. I'm going to leave it as 5/2. Okay, row 2, you see how there's nothing here? That means I didn't do anything to it. So I'm going to leave the same, 0, 3, -4. Okay, so this is my next answer. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and continue doing my work on this. So what I want to do is I want to say, you know what, I want to do something to row 2. So I'm going to go row 2. Actually, sorry. I want to do, let's go 1 times row 1. Actually, let's go -1. So I'm just kind of making things up, but I do have a plan. So let's go -1 times row 1, and then we're going to add it to row 2. Okay, and notice, so again, this work, this blue line is on row 2. That means that everything's going to be put onto row 2. Right, so again, that's my work. Okay. So again, I'm going to take -1 and times by row 1. So here's -1 and times by row 1. So -1 times row 1. So -1 times 1 gives you -1. And then we're going to add it to row 2, which will give you -1. Okay, so yeah, -1 times 1 gives you -1, and then we're going to add it to row 2, which is 0. So -1 plus 0 is -1. Okay, and then we're going to do the next one. We go -1 times row 1, which happens to be 2 in this case, and then we're going to add it to row 2, which happens to be 3 in this case. So this one comes out to be -1 times 2 is -2 plus 3. So -2 plus 3 will give you 1. Okay, I'll do it one more time. So -1 times 5/2, and then we're going to add it to -4. So -1 times 5/2 is -5/2, and this one we can write on the side. So it'll be -5/2, and we're going to add it to row 2, which is now -4. So basically, it's going to be -5/2 plus -4. Okay, we can call it -2.5 minus 4, which is really -6.5. Okay, or you can call it 12 divided by here. I'll put it as a fraction, so you can say 6.5 is going to be -13, not 12. 13/2. Okay, and row 1, we didn't do anything to it, so we're going to do the same. 1, 2, and 5/2. Okay. So that's just a quick example of, doing showing some work, getting the answer, and then doing another step, and then getting the next answer. Okay, so you need to kind of keep staggering them like this. Your final answer is always a reflection of what you did above. Okay, so again, your final answer, or this answer, is a reflection of what you did from above. Okay, and that's an important part. All right, we'll call it a wrap.